To ascend from a Chaos Terminator to a Blightlord Terminator is a great honor. So today on Conversion Corner, let's look at our Blightlord Terminators.
Anvil of War Conversion Corner!
Hey guys, so we're here today on Conversion Corner to talk a little bit about Blightlord Terminators, and these is a Death Guard Elites option that Games Workshop came out with a kit. Excellent models, they look fantastic. Basically it's your Nurgle Terminators, and they kind of got the Cataphractii armor thing going on, so they kind of look a little older, little obviously mutated because of the Nurgle's blessings, but I'm looking at my collection and I'm thinking, how can I now include my Terminators that I had from old editions, because now they're Blightlord Terminators, and you know, I didn't really know how to, they don't just take Mark of Nurgle anymore. So how do I turn them into Blightlord Terminators? And we're gonna look at the kit and kind of see how Games Workshop included a bunch of extra bits and are gonna just stretch that kit by including old Chaos Terminators and turning them into Blightlords. So when I bought my Blightlord Terminator kit, it only includes 5 models in the kit. So I opened it up excitedly and put together my 5 combinations of Blightlord Terminators, and the models are glorious. You got things like big growths coming out of them, they got different kinds of chainmail hanging off them, and a bunch of Nurgle insignia and just big shoulder pads and stuff that come with the Cataphractii armor loadout. But I'm looking at my older Terminators and they just don't compare, right? So as I'm putting the kit together, I realize I have a surplus of arms, of heads, of shoulder kind of pauldron decoration. You know what? This is doable. Let's try to stretch this. And there was just enough bits in the kit to make 2 more Terminators, which I thought was super funny because all of a sudden you expanded the kit from a 5-man unit to the 7-man unit, and we all know that 7 is the sacred number of Nurgle, so it only just made sense that Papa would bless us with these bits. So I took the excess combi-bolters and the excess bale swords and basically stuck them on some old Chaos Terminator bodies. Now, we did have the heads because there were some spare heads from the Blightlord Terminators kit, and I thought it would just like fit the theme and kind of fit the look of the Blightlords if we got rid of the old heads and popped in some Blightlord Terminator heads. So this is a super easy kit bash in that it's just arms and heads being swapped onto the old bodies, and it really actually makes them look part of the unit, and like it's almost indistinguishable that they're part of the kit. Now, to give them the kind of the mutations, because a lot of the Blightlords have kind of these leaking guts and, you know, their armor's cracked and there's some swollen skin coming out, you needed to use some green stuff. Green stuff you can really kind of do anything with. Like, you just kind of have to give it a texture, and you can push it around with a popsicle stick or a pen cap or whatever you really have on your desk. It's going to look fine, because if you think about it, you're going to cover it in primer, you're going to cover it in paint, you're probably going to hit it with a wash. You're going to bring that texture out. So really just try to give yourself a texture and you'll kind of get that rotten skin look. Now, keeping the Blightlord's theme, obviously the heads really tied them in, because the head is kind of the center focal point of the model, and just being from the Blightlord's kit, it's really like, oh, that's a Blightlord, you know, it's from that kit. And the shoulder pauldrons kind of frame the face, and that's when it's like, it's almost indistinguishable from a top-down view that you're like, that's just a Blightlord Terminator, but it's not. You know, you look at the legs and it's like, oh, wait a second, why are they like slightly shorter than the other guys? It's because they're the old Chaos Terminator kit, right? So a super simple kit bash, and this is a great way of stretching what you might already have and kind of tying it in with this new range that Games Workshop brings out, because it's expensive, right? Like sometimes it's hard to want to just buy like 3 or 4 of a kit when they're priced the way they are. But you know, if you already have existing models that you just don't have a home for, you know, use the bits you have to really kind of bring them into the fold of wherever your new collection is going. In other parts of the unit, I've used things like the Lord of Contagion's back banner. I had an extra one of those guys from the Dark Imperium set, and I wanted to kind of be like, it's hard to kind of keep track when you're playing games sometimes who the unit champion is, because I like to give them the best equipment, and I want them to die last if they're getting targeted. So I like to put the big back banner on him. just so you can kind of see who has the highest leadership and, you know, who's aspiring to be a Lord of Contagion, because he's now, you know, a Blightlord champion, so he's doing pretty good for himself. But other than that, you could take things like Plague Marine bits, like there's a lot of extra heads in that kit that are fantastic. You have some good melee weapons, some good hands and stuff that you can use for possible kit bashes there too. I didn't use any on the Blightlord Terminators because I'll show you another time. I have a lot of Plague Marines on the go, and you know, the bits were used in that space. So other than that, you know, you could get another squad of Cataphractii Terminators. I like to look at the Death Shroud Terminators too. The Death Shroud have a lot of cool bits that do translate pretty well to the Blightlord's kit. So if you wanted to, you know, mix and match around those kits, that's a good option too. As well as getting into like 30K models, like you got the old Death Shroud Terminators in there. Those can easily be converted into either Blightlords or Death Shroud, depending on which kits you want to use and like what loadouts you want to play with. But there's certainly endless options, especially with green stuff, for how you want to convert your models and bring them into this newer fold of Nurgle playstyles. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope this helps you develop your own Blightlord Terminators at home. These guys are a hard-hitting unit in the game of 40K, and they also just look glorious. So if you can have more models in the unit, why not? Am I right? Thanks for watching.
Sponsored by...
Thank you guys for watching this video today on Anvil of War Gaming. If you love Nurgle and you want to bless me with some Nurgle blessings, please hit that subscribe button down below to help us keep making some content for all you Nurgle crazies out there. Thanks again. Let us... Okay, this is stupid. What do you call it? The cut.